Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to Listen Up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Welcome back to Listen Up on this Inauguration Monday. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment away, and subscribe to the channel as we are almost at the end of January already. And UConn only has 12 regular season games remaining on their schedule. But excuse me if you can hear the stove in the background, as if you're watching this up north, it's probably even colder than what it is up here. It's only about 19 degrees here, but hopefully if you can hear it, it'll provide a little bit of a cozy background feel. But either way, we're here today to talk about UConn's next matchup on Wednesday night against the Villanova Wildcats. A little over 2 weeks ago, UConn traveled to Pennsylvania and beat the Wildcats by 31 points. And if you remember in that game, this was when Paige exited early with the knee injury that caused her to miss the next two games. Sarah Strong dominated in that last matchup. KK Arnold scored 15 off the bench, and AZ Fudd had a very efficient shooting day from the field. UConn shut down Bosco, and as usual, UConn's opponents struggled to find any rhythm from the field. Since that last game, Villanova has went 2-2, winning their last two games. They now have a record of 10-9 and are fourth in the Big East standings with a record of 4-3. Bosco and Weber are still leading the charge for this experienced Wildcat group, who, like I mentioned last time, has had a couple very tough losses. And you look at their schedule, and at least three of those games could have easily been wins that they lost. And when you look at Villanova's overall stats, they really aren't a bad team overall, just unable to close out some of these games that's really costed them in the win and loss column. And as for Huskies, don't have the updated AP poll just yet, coming on a little bit before that's released, but I do expect them to stay ranked sixth in this week's AP poll as the top six. Nothing changed. All those teams won their games this week. And I think from now, we can really expect Paige, Sarah, and AZ to lead the scoring charge and score the majority of UConn's points in most of their remaining games, with, of course, KK, Ashlyn, Morgan playing key roles off of the bench for us. Also expect Aubrey's minutes to slightly increase off of the bench in all these games coming up, as she will obviously also have a very important role on this team. And let me know in the comments as well, is it possible in a couple weeks that Aubrey starts in place of Caitlin Chen? As you know, we've talked about Caitlin a lot on this podcast, had really high hopes of her coming in this off season. Obviously struggled to score for this team, but you can't deny that she's definitely had a really strong defensive presence. The chemistry that she's built really early on this team. But I think it's interesting, this late in the season, maybe Gino doesn't change the lineup. He's had this starting lineup for quite a while now. Of course, when all these players are finally healthy, we got Paige back. AZ is finally healthy now. But, let me know if Aubrey is going to continue to stay on the bench and probably get 20 to 25 minutes, I would say. Or does she have a chance to start in some of these games? But I'll get into a couple comments here and then time for my prediction after that. First comment we'll go to is from BNR Soldier. They said, "Hey, Phil and Rye, I can't remember a game this season or last season where the Huskies looked like a well-oiled machine, both on offense and defense. Big three showed out today." Yeah, I would say it has been a while where the whole team has looked like a well-oiled machine. Definitely has been a while. Of course, the Iowa State game, like I mentioned in the recap yesterday, that was a pretty good game from the offensive standpoint. But yesterday against Seton Hall, both on offense and defense the whole entire game. Yeah, it was just dominance the whole way through. And of course, we had all those special moments of Paige and Aubrey. Aubrey coming back, Paige getting 2K points. So a lot of cool special moments in front of a sold out crowd. Gamble Pavilion, like we said yesterday, couldn't really write that script any better. And I think it was just a very special day for everybody in attendance there, everybody that watched the game. And, it was really cool to see UConn finally put 4 quarters together, play really consistent basketball. It was really nice to see all the way around. Final comment here from Jeanette Adams. They said Aubrey was a talented, efficient player we have missed. Solid D and creative offense the whole game from all players. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Aubrey, we're going to talk about her a lot coming up here because she is really important to this team. You definitely can't deny that. And even though she played 11 minutes yesterday, still found a way to impact the game right away. I saw a lot of people commenting on this video, a majority of them obviously about Aubrey, but I saw a lot of you guys commenting about how she impacted the game defensively right away, especially in transition defense as she runs the field. Like we say, Aubrey is just a consistent player that knows what her role is, does her job in each game, knows what to do from the defensive side of things, allows herself to get open on offense if the team needs her to. So, Aubrey might just be that missing piece that we needed to have something special here in UConn. But my prediction for this game, I think this one's another blowout win for UConn. Take care of business and prepare for their toughest Big East challenge that's coming on Saturday against Creighton. Can't wait for that one on Fox. That'll definitely be a pretty big game. But score prediction for UConn versus Villanova. I'm saying UConn 85, Villanova 56. I think it's similar to their first matchup where UConn won by 31 points. Gonna have the home crowd again in Gamble Pavilion. Hopefully, it's another sold out crowd, electric atmosphere. I'm sure it will be on Wednesday night. But for today, that's gonna do it for me here on Listen Up. Appreciate you guys as always. And we will be back for the game recap, probably just a little bit later after that game. But nonetheless, we will definitely have that game recap for you guys. But for now, this has been Rye on Listen Up, and we are hopeful for another UConn Huskies win on Wednesday night. I will see you guys then.